Okay, guys, we are back. If you're just starting this lecture and you're wondering why I'm saying we're back, because we took a 5-minute break to divide this video up so that the first half was over the assignment demo, some advanced stuff in Illustrator that are actually pretty simple that produce some really amazing results. Did a lot of work on making a face in Illustrator. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, you definitely want to check out that video for some tips and tricks that really bring things to life, so to speak. The second half, we are going to go over the assessment. Our next lecture will be Tuesday at 1 p.m. We are going to talk about the bone tool. We're going to talk about the things you need to do for your assessment. Christy's our learning coach. Her schedule is in the announcements. If you need help drawing your final graphics or you need help with that bone tool, please go in and see Christy or see one of the other graphic designers, especially for your graphics. Any of them will be able to help you. You have two options for your assessment. The first one is using your existing working animation that you made for week 1 assessment. Using your assessment. It has to have, you're going to have to add to it, basically, is what's going to need to happen. This is not a step-by-step or a how-to do your animation. It just tells you what you need to have in your animation. You're going to open your week 1 assessment and do a save as and name it week 2 assessment. Open an object to your background, or add an object to your background for your character to interact with for use. You can use the character you already have in there, and you're just going to add an additional character to interact with that bird or butterfly or dragonfly or whatever you used in your assessment last week, your bats. There was a few of you that had bats. Your character needs to be some type of humanoid type character and has jointed parts that can allow it to walk, wave, or other human-like movement. You are going to import or make your character a symbol and animate it. You're going to use the legs. The character's legs must do at least one of the following. It must walk, crawl, jump, kick, stomp, anything like that. Your character's arms and hands must do at least one of the following. Wave, push off, or something. Do not use the skeleton from the tutorial that is in this assessment instructions to help you get familiarized with the bone tool. Do not use it. Do not use any pieces of the background. And then you are going to, option B, if you don't want to use your assessment from last week, you're going to create an HTML5 canvas document, 500 by 350 pixels, 24 frames per second. It needs to be a minimum of 10 to 15 seconds long. You are going to draw a fun background environment for the character to interact with. You're going to draw a humanoid type character that can allow it to walk, wave, or other human-like movement. Import or make your character a symbol. Animate it. Make sure there is a background. More than just a solid screen, guys. Make sure there is a background there. Trees, grass, whatever the case may be. Outer space, stars in the night sky. Whatever it is you want to put there, that's fine. But it needs to be an actual background environment and not a solid color. You're going to make the legs walk, crawl, jump, kick, stomp, whatever. And the hands need to do something. They can wave, push off, or anything else. And then you're going to name that file. Make sure it gets named GS246 Assessment 2, your first and last name. You're going to save your file, and you're going to publish it so that you get the HTML file. This is a requirement. When finished, you zip the entire folder. Make sure you name the above zip file DES246 Assessment 2, your first and last name, and you're going to submit it for grading. Make sure you publish those files and you zip all the published files together. There should be at least 3, your FLA file, your .js file, and your .html file. So let's go over and let's switch to Animate for a second. And I'm going to close this. And we're going to open my assessment from last week. Here we are. There's my assessment. My dragonfly flies around. He lands right there. Yes. Okay, so I had to figure out some sort of character to put in here. Well, I'm going to do this character. I think I'm going to make something kind of like a bear. Might not be a perfect bear because I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I think we're going to do a type of bear. I'm going to grab my tools here and go to my properties. Make sure I'm in object drawing mode. And make a new layer for my character. Oops, I did this backwards. Huh. This is what happens when I try to mix working in Illustrator and I did it again. Working in Illustrator and going back to work in Animate on the same day. That's better. Okay, so I'm gonna have my bear-like creature. Let's zoom in here just a little bit more because I do want to do some stuff here. He looks kind of crazy. That's my black arrow. Let's see if we can. Better. And let's see what kind of brushes I have here. Vector pattern, hand drawn. I think we'll make my whole bear red. That'll work for now. And I want that same circle. Copy, paste. Get in there. Paste again. Okay. Mouth. Okay, so I have my nice little head. Everything's locked. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to group it. Oops, come back here. And then I need to worry about my body. Eyedropper. Color. Zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Better. Change color here. Group this part. And then work on his shoulders and things like that. There. Arm. Take these two, copy and paste them. And flip them. Add it over there. And worry about my legs and feet. Two. Sorry, guys. Just a little paw. I think we're doing pretty good here. I want to group just his arm, not his shoulder, but his arm and his hand together. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my little weird bear creature. And we're going to zoom out because now I need to decide what he's going to do. I think we'll make him walk sideways, like he's sneaking over where he lands. Okay, so I'm going to select him all. He's selected. Let's go in here a little bit closer so you guys can see this. We're nice and selected. I'm going to go over here, and your bone tool is located right there. Grab my bone tool. And you have to make a skeletal-like construction. Now, here is the hard part. You notice it won't let me connect, link to group, cannot link to group objects. Nope, you cannot link them. So why did I group them? I'll group them like this. Why? Because I'm going to ungroup them, but when I was working on it, if I needed to move anything out of the way, it just sometimes makes it easier. With everything selected, I'm just going to go break apart. But you notice what it did. So I want to undo that because you don't want to turn any of your little objects into pieces just yet. I'm just going to hold my shift key down and deselect those individual pieces, and then right click and break apart. And there we go. And then I'm going to select everything again. And grab my bone tool. And I have to make a skeleton. I'm going to start at the top of his head. And I'm going to drag down. And it only gave me pieces. That's what I was afraid was going to happen. Okay, so we're going to have to go back. I thought Adobe had finally fixed this, but apparently they have not. Deselect this and this, right click, break apart. Everything's there. All of these pieces. I'm going to select all these little individual pieces that are not the solid red. I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to cut them for a second. And then select my bear bone tool and let's get this started. Oh, there's a body, body to shoulder, shoulder to arm. And you see, I'm not connecting, am I? Everything's an individual piece, and that's really not what you want. And this is where I said, it's, I warned you guys, the bone tool is very, very rudimentary. It doesn't like stuff. It drives me nuts. I want to those two pieces. I'm still going to individualize everything. Let's see if I can make it do what I want it to do. Oh. Oops. Come back here. I'm going to break everything apart. And let's see if it'll let me connect everything now. I don't want it to be a movie clip. Why won't you piece together? Object, arrange, bring front. Everything is pieces, right? It may not like my stroke. The bone tool, as I said, I hate the bone tool in Animate. That's it. It's great that you guys need to learn to use it, but in reality, the bone tool just stinks. And you see it's doing independent amateur layers instead of just one like I want. So I'm going to go here and go back to our stroke. In fact, I'm just going to turn off my stroke for a moment. Let's see if that will fix my bone tool. Yes, you will. Take that. Take it. Take that one. It does not want to take any of this. Let me save this. Let me shut this down and we'll reopen it. Sometimes that works. Not always, but sometimes it works. Now be a good little bone tool and do what I want you to do. It still doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Rawr! Come on, you work. Let's see if I can make it work like this. Hold on just a second, guys. Let me change some colors up here. Have a funny looking monster for a second. That's fine. Let's see if it'll make a difference. Sometimes it has trouble with color. Sometimes it does not. Sometimes it just doesn't work, period. Okay, bone tool. Attach, maybe. No. Will you attach to an arm? No. How about a leg? I hate the bone tool. Come on and be nice. Okay, let me undo everything here. I'm gonna add my stroke back. We're gonna do this another way. On. Go. Okay, so we have my head. I'm going to go ahead and go to edit, paste in place so I get all my face and stuff back. Select my head, modify, convert to symbol, head, arm, and hand, modify, symbol. I always name to my side, otherwise I have to stop and think about things. My shoulder. Oops, these should be movie clips, guys. I will show you how to fix that if you do what I just did. Left, right arm. you can go into your library panel. Well, there's my left shoulder. I'm going to right click and go to properties and simply switch it to a movie clip. Left arm, properties, movie clip, properties, movie clip. There we go. And this is all done, right? I need a right shoulder. Yes. If I symbol. And body. Left leg. What about slow? Right leg. Okay. Everything's converted. Ching. Got all these little pieces. Bone tool. Let's start in the center. Go up to here. There's my first bones. And I'm going to go back to where I started, where that little blue circle and white square are. And I'm going to click right on top of that white square. And I want shoulder. And then right on that purple dot, I'm going to click and hold my mouse button down and drag to his arm. And I'm going to go back to this little white square and do the next shoulder on the right side. And then the arm here. And then go back to that white dot. And I'm going to do the leg. And the leg. And now I got something that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to take my black arrow and see all my bones. I can move stuff. Oops, come back out there where you were. And I can move every single one of these joints the way I need to move them. So I'm going to go out to 1 second. And dragonfly is right there at 1 second. So I'm going to take this arm, bring it up. Bring it up. Come on. And I'm going to bring it, oops. Let's bring this one up. He's getting scared. The dragonfly is going to scare the bear. So here's what happens. Dragonfly flies in, comes up there. He's waving it away, and oh, it got too close. And somewhere at 3 seconds, bringing back down here. Putting back in position. Maybe cock his head a little bit. Keep going. Let's zoom out so I can see where my dragonfly is. Up there. Comes down again. Let's see where he gets closest, right? So about right here. My bear is once again going to lift one arm. And then just a little bit right there. He's going to swipe at that dragonfly. Oops, turn my arm back up there. Go back into position. It comes through. Something didn't work. Up there. this happens when I'm not zoomed in close enough. And grabbing the end of a bone tool will make things like that happen. Whereas I grab it in the middle, it'll keep them together. Just gonna reach out there. So now we've gone from trying to get him to land. Come on, little butterfly. And he draws away. So then we're there. So now we need to move a little bit. So we need to take our first step. Here. And I need him to move. I'm simply going to select him all. And actually bump him over by having selected him. You can't grab him. In order to move like that, you have to use your arrow keys. I'm making a little step there. Let's see what position I'm in, where I went from. I moved too much. This leg needs to go back out here. And I want to straighten up his head now. Maybe cock it a little bit to the other side. One step. Here. Move a little bit more. Oops. And just select just part of it needs to catch up there. And then, oops. I'm going to select him all. And move him all just a bit of a step. This way in. Out. And let's go back here. We've got some pieces off here. Oop. It needs to come back up and around. Arm. Ooh, way too far down. I wish this cold would hurry up and totally go away. Okay, and then we have this leg. My screen just does whatever it wants, apparently. Let's bring it back out here. And this. Okay, so let's take a look. At what's happening here. He likes the dragonfly. wants to pet the dragonfly. It doesn't want to pet him. Oh, got a problem right there. I start to break apart a little bit. Right there. I'll grab my head. He needs to come over a little bit. My shoulder needs to reattach itself to its body. So I'm just using my arrow keys, selecting those two pieces, and using my arrow keys to bump them back over where they should be. We've got a little bit of a problem right here. Not the head. To bring this over that. That's better. He tilts his head the other way. And we are majorly broken apart here at the arm. Go. And now we're sneaking. Again, with this arm, it does not want to stay in place. Go. This doesn't need to be here. Clear pose. Go. There. Somehow or another that arm got screwed up here. There. 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 His arm's really out there now. Go. That's better. So let's go back. Oh, we've got issues here. Where did our issues start? Clear pose. It's the next one, yes. Oh, too big there. That's fine. Go back to the big body. And like it's supposed to be here. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, dragonfly. Trying to get Dragonfly to come to him. No, that ain't happening. So he's going to try to sneak after it. We've got an issue right there. This leg. Has to come down. There we go. Too far down here. Oops. One more frame out. Down. Issue right there. And down. I think that will do it. So now let's take a look at it in the browser. Switch over for you guys. Maybe. Come on. Come on. It's trying, guys. It's just taking a moment here. And now it wants to freeze, I think. Perfect. So my mouse is still frozen though, so I can't switch view now. Let's see if I can close down some of this stuff. Oh no, I've got the rainbow death. Hold on a second. Ah, there we go. Let's see if I can't close down some of this stuff and free up some memory so that we can see what's on. And them screwing your computer up. You're not. We all go through much trouble. Occasionally I get some trouble with Photoshop. If I'm working with Dreamweaver or Animate open at the same time I have Photoshop open. Animate gives me trouble all the time. It just kind of does what it wants. We have a love-hate relationship going on. I really like Animate, except for the bone tool easy. But it, for no reason, like you saw on yesterday's, came down out of the blue because that's just what it wants to do. Not that. Sometimes it just really wants to act like a 2-year-old. And there's no getting around it. You just kind of got to suffer through it. Watching it, so saying no. Once you've hit publish, the OK button will gray out until you can click it again. Once the OK button's lit up again and you can click it, just click OK. And then go into your Finder, find the folder where you saved everything in. Find the folder you saved everything in, zip it, and you're going to submit that for your assessment. And Animate has decided it doesn't like me. So We are going to call it a night. You're going to publish just like you did last week. So if you can't remember how, just go back to the third set, all the publishing and changing the settings so it only leaves one time. You should have no issues with that. But if you have any questions, just email me and let me know.